Hello. Oh, that's not that. Okay. Hold up. Got some background music too. Hello, everyone. I don't know why the chat's at the bottom down there. Also, we got the Subnautica music in the background again because I don't know any other background music ever. So this is gonna be a different kind of stream. I've never done. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube chat still doesn't show up. I apologize, but yes, Marcy, first ever movie review. So yeah, I've never done a movie review stream. Because I don't really watch movies much at all. But I didn't try Castro Labs because I forgot. All right, you forget that I just don't remember everything ever. I will do that after this stream. I promise. I will forget again. But anyway, my point is. But yes, we will be doing a movie review stream because I just got back from watching Iron Lung, Markiplier's movie. I think it's his only ever movie. I know he did a TV series, or no, TV series. I know he did like a series of something before that I didn't watch, but I think this is his first movie. If I'm wrong on that, then that's a good start. But I'm not really a big movie person, but I kind of wanted to talk about it. Because I thought it might be fun. So, I do watch a lot of movie reviewers. So I'm kind of gonna, I guess, build this off of them. The main ones I watch is like freaking Moist Critical mainly. But I also watch like YMS and Cosmonaut, Variety Hour. I don't know. I for a while I binged watched just people who reviewed movies. Just like movies I never had any interest in seeing, but I like listened to someone talk about it for an hour. It's just fun. I don't know why. It's just genuinely enjoyable sometimes. So I'm gonna try to basically. This is gonna sort of be scripted, I guess, kind of like. I was gonna say, kind of like, how Moist Critical does it, where it's kind of just more freeform. But I'm gonna start off not talking about spoilers, and then get into spoilers for a bit. I'm not gonna like talk about the whole movie. We'll go play by play and like spoil every bit of the movie. But I think there's a few things I'm gonna mention that could be spoilers. So just preemptively, we'll just do that. But I'm gonna start off by completely being not spoiler, and then like transition into things that might be it. Overall, I liked the movie. Honestly, I'll be real. I'm not a huge horror movie person. I don't really watch horror movies ever. I've been forced to a few times, but I'm more of a, if I like horror stuff, it's game versions. And even that's kind of iffy because there's some horror games that I just don't play because I'm a little baby bitch. But I thought it was a really good movie, honestly. There were some things that I wasn't huge on, but overall, I don't really have anything to complain about. Things I can compliment that aren't spoilery is that the camera work was honestly really fucking good for what I guess is an independent movie. I guess, yeah, it would be. It was literally like funded by Markiplier himself and his like own company. I mean, I guess there were other companies involved too, but I'm pretty sure it counts as independent. Like the camera work was fucking amazing. Like, I was genuinely kind of surprised how clean everything looked. Like, it felt like a movie. It didn't feel like you were watching something made with a small budget. It felt like there was some good money put into it. So I really liked that. The design of the actual sub, I guess I should say, like, I have not played Iron Lung, but I watched like 5 different people play it. And I watched at least part of one of those like fucking hour-long video essays breaking down all the lore and stuff about it. So I had some idea going into it, at least of how the game worked. And like everything for that. So I had some idea going into it. The friend I saw it with did not have any background knowledge of it. So we kind of have like both perspectives, I guess. Me as, having seen the game and then one person who hadn't seen it. And we both really liked it, so it kind of got the checkbox for that. I'm going to mainly be talking about it as someone who has seen the game, because it's kind of hard to, like, do that whole looking at it as someone who has no background knowledge of it or whatever. But yeah, the camera work was just really fucking good. The sound design was amazing, honestly. Like, they did really, really good on the sounds. The only complaint I had about it, which was kind of one of my biggest complaints, is that throughout the movie, there's a lot of, like, back and forth kind of talking. I don't think this really counts as spoiler, but there's a lot of, like, back and forth talking with voices over a radio, like radio communication with Markiplier and other people and all that. And it is sometimes really fucking hard to hear what the other person is saying. Like, genuinely, I'd say borderline impossible. And I don't know if it was just because everything else was so loud, or if this is one of those things that weirdly watching it in movie theater made it harder to hear the voices. This could also just be, you know, how modern cinema is too. Because I know for a fact, half the movies I watch at home, it's just, you can't hear shit. Like, I have to turn subtitles on, because if I raise the volume up, but it's not like you raise the volume up because you can't hear them. It's just really, it's just, I'm not sure if you're supposed, sometimes it feels like you were supposed to not really hear what's being said, but other times it's just like Markiplier, as which is gonna be funny just referring to him as Markiplier, but he shows up as Markiplier as, like, that's his title. Like, it says starring Markiplier. It doesn't say starring, I think his name is Mark. I know his first name is actually Mark, but forget his last name again. It literally lists him as his handle as Markiplier, so I'm just gonna call him Markiplier. Like, he understands what is being said to him over the radio, but I would be like, I couldn't hear a fucking word that was being said. So I don't think it's intended for some of that to be so difficult to hear all the time. But that was kind of my, like, honestly, my, I think, biggest complaint about the whole movie was just that there are some sections where it's really hard to hear the other voices. Not Markiplier himself. You can hear him perfectly fine. There's no problems with that. What else? What else is there that's, like, not spoiler related? I think I mentioned, yeah, I already mentioned that. I really liked the design they did of the sub. It mimicked the game really well. I think it's pretty much almost actually a one-to-one creation. I'd have to go look at it again, but I'm pretty sure it was basically a one-to-one creation. So they did really good on that. The blood, because for obviously you don't know, if for people who haven't played Iron Lung, like, short synopsis of that is the, like, all the planets and stars just randomly got snapped out of existence for some reason. It's called, like, the Quiet Rapture, and there's a planet that you're specifically at where, like, all of the game takes place. That's, like, it's kind of like just a weird moon that wasn't snapped, because I think moons stayed. I forget the exact lore of the game now, actually. That's messing with me. But, there's this moon that's still there, and it's basically filled with oceans of blood. So, with that in mind, and considering, you know, the Iron Lung is a sub that's sent down into it to, like, explore the sea floor of the blood ocean, there was a lot of blood in the movie, obviously, and they actually did really well with it. It didn't look like it was just dyed water or whatever it is. It, like, had a really visceral consistency to it whenever you would see it, and it was kind of really cool. I think it was like, the practical effects. I think that's the word. Look at me sounding fancy. The practical effects were really fucking good in the movie. Like, everything just looked kind of gross when it was meant to be gross. Like, they did really good on that. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. Poor Markiplier just fucking he looks like he went through the ringer for some of those scenes, but I respect it. He did pretty good. Markiplier's acting throughout it was actually really good. I will say straight up at the start, it was impossible to not just see him as Markiplier. I'm sorry. Whatever character he's trying to play, it's just going to be Markiplier. You can't watch someone on YouTube for literally like a decade and then see them as anything else. Like, I haven't played, off tangent, I haven't played Dispatch yet, that game that Moist Critical is in, or the Charlie's in. But I guarantee you, whenever I get around to playing that, I'm just going to see him. Like, I'm sorry. I can't see these personalities and not just immediately see them as like, oh, they're just they're just the person I watch on YouTube. So I feel a bit bad about that because I feel like that's going to kind of undermine what Markiplier was trying to do with the movie. Because like I said, he did great. I think he did really good acting for it. There were some parts that I think were a bit rougher or like unintentionally funny, I think. But honestly, I kind of just chalk that up to I think this genuinely being his second ever official acting credit. Because I know he, like I said, he was in that one TV series. And then I think he's done a few YouTube specific ones. I'll be honest, I mainly watched Markiplier way back in the day. And I've just kind of kept up with him because he's just an awesome dude. And he's one of like, him and Germa are like the two YouTubers that, I guess they're kind of not even just YouTubers anymore. They're like the two personalities online that I followed for so long, but I always consider them just like a force of good. Like they're always just really chill, and I'm just happy they're doing well. I do that with actors too. Seeing Harry Potter and Women in Black or Leia and Blues Brothers was, yeah. It's I do it for some actors, not many. Like actors, it's a bit better for me, but it's just, yeah, I can't see Markiplier and anything else, not just think he's just Markiplier. But I do think he did really good. Aside from like a few bits and pieces there, I think he did pretty damn good. He definitely got really into it at times, like with shouting and emotional moments. He definitely, like, he felt like he was really caring and putting his heart into it, so that was really nice. The other actors in the movie all did amazing. I don't know if they are actual actors by trade or if they were like other personalities. I didn't recognize any of them. I'm gonna feel slightly bad if they are like somewhat recognizable people and I'm just like, ooh, I don't know who that is. I don't watch things anymore, unfortunately. They all did really, really well. Like, no one had a bad performance at all. Which, again, for, like, this sort of thing, you'd expect that be something that would be a bit more of a risk. But no, everything was pretty damn good. What else have I fucking talked about that's not spoilery? I think that's pretty much it. Because like I said, the sound was great. Acting was pretty great. It didn't feel as long as it felt long, but in a good way. Like in a way where it was kind of like, I think it was intended to try to feel like you're sort of almost there with Markiplier for a long fucking time, even though it's not really that long. Just because of the, like, you know, the whole confined space kind of claustrophobia, brain messing with kind of stuff. It's like, oh, you've been here for, it's only been like an hour, but feels like you've been there forever. So that I thought was pretty good. Yes, episode, blah, blah, blah. Trying to think of everything else. The music was pretty good. I thought there were some points where the music was kind of a bit too loud, but I think that's just every movie in general. It might be fine if watching it outside in a normal setting, like if you're just watching it on your computer or on TV, they might not be that loud. But the music was kind of really loud at some points, and I think it drowned out some of the rest going on. But that was about it. Honestly, I don't have really many things to complain about. We're going to kind of shift focus to spoilers now, because everything else I think I want to talk about requires that warning. So I have it in the title of the stream, but give me a second. I'm just going to pop up a quick text document that just says spoiler. Yeah, we're just going to fucking do a new text. Who cares? The text is just going to be spoiler warning. What colors can I do? What does text transform? What am I doing here? Oh, you gotta read from file for that shit, don't you? Can I not change the color? I thought there was a way to change color. Oh, there is. I need to scroll down. I'm so smart. What do you mean background color? No, I don't want a background. I want just what can I do the text color? Oh, here we go, text color. All right, there we go. Spoiler. Oh, let me make it black, red instead. Actually, hold up. Red. Bam. Spoiler warning. I don't know how to make it like flash, like boing boing boing, but we'll just have that there. That's fine. Anyway, so I'm not gonna do a full recap of the movie because I do think anyone interested should go watch it. I would definitely recommend it. Even if you don't really like horror movies, I think it definitely does a very good job. I will say right off the bat, which I do kind of consider as a spoiler, so that's why we're starting with this one. There's no jump scares, which is awesome. Honestly, I was kind of expecting, because the game it's based on does have jump scares, that there were going to be jump scares. There was none. It was quite nice. Like, there were tense moments where it was building up to obviously something was going to happen and it was going to be spooky, but it wasn't like it jumped into your face and it was trying to startle you. It was just like you knew it was coming and you were preparing for it. Because like for instance, later, way near the end, the latter half of it, Markiplier goes to ram the fish. I think he fucking like rams the fish. And like, he's going to hit it. Like he's literally fucking speeding at the damn thing. And so something's gonna happen. Like that's the extent of the only thing of like that. And that's not really a jump scare. There was nothing that just randomly popped up and scared the shit out of you. The scares were actually really fucking good. Like the atmosphere, that was another thing I could have said during the non-spoiler part, but whatever, I'm an idiot. I don't do these. I don't review movies. Can you tell? The atmosphere was amazing. Like really, really fucking good. The atmosphere, the tension was really good throughout the whole movie. Like it ramped up just really well, and like it kind of was like it was pretty stressful. Like Markiplier starts off at the start kind of okay, like normal, and then by the end he's fucking stressed to all hell because of all the shit he's gone through. And like you kind of, the way it matches that stress level with everything else fucking going on, like the sub falling apart, blood fucking leaking in, him battling the fish essentially at the end as best as he could. Like everything kind of just is ramping up along with his actual stress, and I think it complements it pretty well because I was fucking on edge as the shit was getting real. I was genuinely surprised. One thing I was really hoping they weren't going to do, and I can thankfully say they didn't, aside from one instance, which was fine in my eyes, is that I really wanted them to stay within the sub the entire movie. Like, not leave the perspective of being trapped in the actual iron lung the whole time, because you want that claustrophobia. That's like the whole point of the game, is you're literally just trapped in this box and you can't do anything about it. I am happy to report that they stick with that for almost the entire movie, aside from like two instances. One instance being there are a few like flashback scenes that are really short, like really fucking short. Like I'm talking just like 10 seconds total of just of flashbacks, maybe throughout the movie, 10-15 seconds. That I think is fine, because that's not really leaving the sub. It's kind of, he's just remembering these things as everything else is going on, because he gets his ass kicked. He gets thrown around the sub. Markiplier gets beat the shit out of him by the fucking sub and the fucking fish. Which is weirdly sort of funny, but also it's just like I feel bad because it's meant to be like, you know, bad shit. But I've watched videos of Markiplier kind of getting beating himself up a little bit. So it was weird. It had some slapstick to it that I don't think was obviously wasn't the intention of it. But what was I talking about? But yeah, sorry, it's the points of lessons. So it leaves for a very short amount of time throughout the movie for flashbacks, and then at the end there are 2 instances where it leaves. One that's kind of more fine, which I'm not really gonna specify, and then another one that I'm kind of iffy about. So I'm gonna try to keep as much spoilers as possible. Like I've already spoiled a decent bit, but I don't want to spoil the whole thing because I do think it was good, and I do think people should go watch it who haven't watched it if you care about the opinion of random VTuber. But so I'm not gonna say the but it does leave the perspective 2 times near the end, and one of which fine with. I think it fits fine, and the other one I'm kind of 50-50 on. Like I don't think it's bad, but I also don't think it was needed. So that's it. Other than that, it stays in the sub the whole time. There is interactions with the outside world, including a lot more chatter between other people and Markiplier than I expected. Because in the game, only the one voice that talks to you in the beginning of the game talks. Where like you're being descended down, they talk to you a little bit, and then you never hear from them the whole game. I think. I don't remember if there's actual recordings on the computer in the game that you listen to at some point. I forget that whole breakdown. But in the movie, there is quite a lot of other characters that Markiplier talks to who are both physical and may not be physical stuff. Like there is a lot of brain fuckery and hallucinating that goes on later on. So some of it's like, is he actually talking to these people? Well, it goes back and forth kind of with that. But I wasn't expecting that many other voice actors into it, but you do actually talk to quite a lot of them. I think one of them is even the voice from the game. Like they brought him on, but don't quote me on that. Cause he just sounded like the guy, but I don't know if he actually was. And there is even actually one point where it's kind of earlier on, where they actually bring the sub back up with Markiplier in it onto the ship, and you actually get to see out the porthole and see other people. That I thought was kind of cool because I didn't expect that. I honestly went into it thinking it was kind of just going to be the game, but cinematic, I guess, in a way, if that makes sense. But they actually went off script from the game quite a lot in a lot of really good ways. Obviously, the lore, I think, is mostly the same. Some of the stuff related to the computer in the game kind of shows up in the movie with the computer as well. The use of the camera. I got another thing for people who don't really know the game. In the game, because you're so deep in the blood ocean, the pressure is so high that the glass porthole on the front of the ship can't be opened, otherwise it'll break. So it gets completely sealed off, so you can't see. So your only way of really navigating is through the panel that beeps at you when something's nearby, and using the camera at the back to take a picture, and it'll show you what's directly in front of you. The way they use that camera in the movie as like Markiplier's only way to see outside the sub is really fucking well done and really cool. Honestly, they did that mechanic translated so fucking well to the movie. That was very awesome. I actually don't even think they used any pictures from the actual game. I think they were all remade or custom made. But there may have been a few here or there that were references that I didn't really know. But yeah, the way they used the camera throughout it was amazing. They do a decent job of explaining the lore of the game about the Quiet Rapture and some of the other factions. but it is still confusing. Because, I mean, I guess it's fine in a way that it's confusing because the alternative would be like the movie just sits down and fucking regales you the history of the universe. And I think they did a pretty good job of explaining what mattered and what was necessary in the moment, rather than just lore dumping the fucking game and the backstory. So I think they did, but it does make some of it a bit confusing. Because I don't know. Probably, it's hard to explain. I apologize again. I'm not like a movie reviewer, so I don't know how to articulate this stuff. But I wasn't really confused, aside from when the mindfuckery stuff started. But to be honest, that's one of those things that I'm not big brain enough to follow. I look forward to the eventual like 2-hour breakdown someone does on YouTube at some point, explaining all of the shit going on in the middle half and then the latter half, where there's mindfuckery going on. The fish is being more aggressive. The fish is aggressive. And there's just a lot of mindfuckery stuff going and hallucinating. I'm looking forward to someone breaking that down, because it does get pretty disorienting. There is also a surprising amount of really good, this kind of tails into the practical effects thing, really good body gore, body horror, that's what I meant, body horror, in the movie. Like, and as someone who's a big fan of Dead Space, it was pretty cool to see. Like, it was Dead Space style stuff for a little while, with the fucking, at one point, there's like, when blood's kind of breaking into the iron lung a bit, like there's like arteries and shit forming in there. Like it's like in Dead Space with the way the marker basically starts making the habitat changer of all the flesh and stuff sticking to the walls and like forming basically just its own like living tissue around it. Like that kind of shit starts happening on the inside of the sub when it starts bleeding in a lot. And it's really fucking cool and very gross. But like in a, if you like body horror kind of way thing, that I think it looks pretty good. So that was definitely very, very neat to see. Let me think about pretty much what else. Like I said, I don't want to give through just a full story recap. So I'm trying to think about moments that I thought were pretty neat. Markiplier's character himself is pretty interesting. Again, he just kind of just felt like Markiplier to me, but like his backstory and motivations are interesting. He does kind of flip between motivations a bit, where like he's mainly motivated to survive, and then he's kind of almost at the end pissed off with all the mental fuckery going on. So he's like becomes very vendative against the fish who's fucking with him, which is kind of cool in a way, of like almost like, you know, horrors beyond my comprehension, and I'm like ready to square up. I thought that was pretty cool. There was one really fucking cool scare. I guess you could, yeah, it was a scare. Like earlier on in the movie that stood out to me, which I think will be one of the last things I kind of talk about, because otherwise I think I'm just gonna start recounting the whole story. But as I mentioned in the game, and how the movie does it too, because the pressure's so high down where the sub is, they have to close the porthole at the front. The porthole, I think it's a hallucination. It's kind of fucking weird. But it's when he's starting to mess with the computer for the first time in the movie, because he finds it and he starts learning a bit more about it, and he's using the camera flash to light up the area so he can see, which is used throughout the movie. The camera flashing to show what's going on so he can see, because he doesn't really have that many lights, which is really fucking cool. And also weirdly adds stress because it's taking a picture each time. So I kept on like thinking that picture's gonna fucking show some shit that is gonna be really bad. But it's when he starts first getting fucked with, and he backs up and like turns to look towards where the porthole is. It was where like the control panel is, and there's like, I think it was basically an eye the size of the porthole looking in at him, and there was a whispered voice. I forget specifically what it said. It was something like forgive me or something like that. And then it, like, the eye went up, and like basically what was the equivalent of like a bunch of like organs went past the porthole, and then the porthole closed again. That was fucking creepy. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. I don't know if that was actually the fish or if that was some mental bullshit going on, because you get pretty good views of the fish later on, and it didn't look like the fish, so I have no idea what that was, but that was pretty cool. That stuck out to me because that was a pretty good scare. What else? What is there really to talk about? Yeah, and like I said, later on in the movie, when, you know, blood is seeping into the iron lung itself and stuff like that, and fucking Markiplier starts getting just rattled around and has to like fucking do a bunch of like swimming through parts of the ship to grab stuff. It's pretty harrowing, and my god, I felt so bad. I was like, man, Markiplier, you fucking... It's like, his hair probably turned red from all that shit. And there were some parts that... This will be the last thing I think I talk about for it. Near the end, like, let's say like 3/4 of the way through it, there is like a peak moment of brain mindfuckery stuff going on, and it was really interesting. And I think, how, like I said before, I'm looking forward to seeing someone break everything down and like piece it all together. But there was like a ultimate brainfuckery mode that, while really cool and very like cinematic in what was going on and how everything looked, it was like also, I think, the only time where it did like a freeze frame slow motion before it. It was also really fucking confusing. The friend I saw it with, which again was the friend who they'd never played or seen the game, I think that was kind of the start of where they sort of were confused about everything past that, and sort of confused about what bit was going on. And I mean, I was confused too. It's just, I was kind of chalking it up as like fucking, it's just mindfuckery stuff at this point. But it does, I don't want to say it goes off the rails, but it does get really crazy at parts. And I'm not sure if it was the fish was specifically fucking with him. Actually, yeah, I guess the one big thing that confused me is that, and I'll try to again word it in a way that's not as spoilery, but it is still spoilery. I'm pretty sure the fish was the one talking to him at some point and fucking with him the most mentally, but I don't really know what its like goal was. Like, it didn't seem like it just wanted to eat Markiplier. Like, it tried really hard to keep him alive and like it wanted him to, it was almost like it wanted him to, like, the fish wanted Markiplier to learn something or to do something with it. I don't know if it was like fucking like the marker, like saying, make us whole again. That's the kind of vibe it sort of felt like. But I don't know why, because I don't know what the fish was going to try to get out of it. But when Markiplier basically tries to go against it and tries to do what the people who sent him down there want him to, for the greater good, and he flips to try to do that despite, you know, everything, even like accepting that he might die. The fish gets like super defensive about not wanting him to do that, like do the thing that they're telling him to do. And I'm not completely sure why, because it didn't seem like it was threatening the fish. And I don't know what, like, I don't know. It was like the officials like wanting Markiplier to stay there or go specifically something and do something with it. But when Markiplier was like, I'm gonna kind of try to, like, I'm gonna share your secrets, even though I don't really know what the secrets really were, if there were secrets. I assume there's always secrets. I don't know why the fish got really like did not want that to happen. Like, and then that's when they start fighting. Like, that got really kind of confusing. So I'm probably gonna have to rewatch it a few times, which I will, whenever it comes to streaming or whatever it's gonna end up being. I'll watch it a bit more. Because I don't know what the fish was trying to do. Because it just felt like it was conflicting. Like, it really didn't want to kill Markiplier, and it really could have, like, super easily. So even when Markiplier was threatening to do stuff the fish didn't want him to do. Like, the fish just feels like he fucking was trying his best to not kill Markiplier. I don't know if it's just because he really liked Markiplier's videos or what, but it was a bit weird, and I'm not really sure what the Eldritch Abomination's goal was. So, but I feel like that's also just because it's meant to be kind of a bit crazy. Because even the game itself is meant to be like, you figure out a bunch more when you play it through multiple times or watch people break it open and discover its secrets. And this movie definitely felt like that's what it is. Like, there's a lot of things you have to break it down, learn the secrets, like hidden little bits and pieces, Easter eggs, all that sort of stuff. So if you like those kinds of movies where you want to watch it like a few times, and each time you watch it, you might learn or discover something different, this definitely does it really well. I definitely do think it is very, very good. Even if you just watch it once, I think it's great for just watching it once. But I do think it is a very good movie to rewatch a few times and like try to pay attention to sort of piece together all the crazy shit going on. All the Eldritch Abomination. I keep saying Dead Space. I don't know. It feels Dead Space to me. Anything in space with weird fucking monsters trying to tell you to get you to do shit. It's just Dead Space to me. But yeah, that is we're gonna go ahead and call it there because I've apparently been talking for 40 minutes almost. I don't think I said too much. I don't think I'm pretty good at this movie review thing. I don't think I'll do it too much. But yeah, bottom line, Iron Lung I think is very good. I would definitely recommend it, even if you're not super big into horror movies, because I think it's the atmosphere of everything is just pretty great. The world's interesting, everything like that, and it is definitely very tense and spooky. So yes, I would definitely recommend giving it a shot. I'm not going to give it like a rating because I don't know who cares about ratings. No one should do ratings. I don't like numbers are dumb. Letters are dumb. So I just say, yeah, give it a watch. Give it a watch if you think if you like Markiplier, I think you'll like it. But yes, so that's gonna be it for this one. I just literally just had gotten back from it, and yeah, ratings are stupid anyway. Yeah, ratings are stupid anyway. 9 out of 10, basically. But yeah, I had just gotten back from seeing it, and this is the first time I've been to a movie theater in fucking 4 years. So it was definitely very enjoyable, and I'm glad I went to see it. I will definitely be watching it a few more times, probably with other people, because I think that I have a few friends that I think would really enjoy it. So yeah, thank y'all for joining me for the first ever movie review thing. This probably won't happen again because I don't watch movies. So I'm not gonna make a habit of reviewing movies, but I don't know, I wanted to get another stream in today, and I was like, well, what else am I doing this week? Well, go and watch it. So we'll just talk about it for a bit. So, but I do apologize for how rambly and I guess, I don't want to say incoherent, but kind of how all over my talking about it was. I don't really have a structure or idea for it. So, but I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to y'all for now. I am going to go... I don't know what I'm actually going to do, probably. I'm definitely going to go get a drink, though. I've been talking for too much. And I'm going to see you guys all in the future, though. I hope you have a fantastic day, fantastic night. Go watch Iron Lung. tell them I sent you. They won't know who you're talking about, and they will punch you in the face. But it will be funny, so be sure to get it on camera. I hope you all have a fantastic day, fantastic night. For now, it is going to be my time to split, and I will see you guys all in the future. We will be back next week for more game, probably more teardown, and there was something else I was going to play that I now do not remember. So, but yes, we're holding off for a little bit because I know YouTube is like 10 seconds behind, and then we will end the stream. So for now, just chill. I don't know how well the Subnautica background music has been coming in, but I hope it was audible and relaxing. All right, I think we got it. I think that's enough time now. Frog sitting on ledge. Peace. How do I stop streaming on OBS?